Faye, what's on your mind? What's on my mind? Don't say gay is on my mind. I'm truly so tired of hearing about parental rights in education. Over the past few months, the fights about what parents don't want their children to learn have reached a near-deafening point in this country. There's been pushback against students learning the role race has played in America's history. Just a few weeks ago, that resulted in an Indiana school counselor being sent home, and because after sending permission slips that allowed children to be dismissed from lessons about Black History Month and Valentine's Day. Who doesn't want their child to learn about Valentine's Day? There's also the cross-nation push to ban books that discuss race or sexuality or events like the Holocaust in a way that might make a parent uncomfortable. And now, here, Florida's Parental Rights and Education Bill, dubbed the Don't Say Gay Bill, was signed into law last Monday afternoon. The bill proposed banning discussion of sexuality and gender orientation in schools. Proponents say it's directed at elementary-age kids, but it does more than what supporters allege. In this case, it bars discussion of such matters in all public school classrooms, regardless of the age of the child. And over the weekend, representatives added an amendment. If an educator discovers a student is queer, they're required to report it to parents within 6 weeks. God, what else do you need to confirm that this sucks? Aside from that, none of these lawmakers give a flying F about these children or their well-being. This isn't about the kids. Lawmakers in support of this bill are not looking out for young people or their families. They care about midterms that are coming up. They care about a base that doesn't care that this bill could actually end in the deaths of kids who get outed by their teachers. As long as candidates look the most Christian between now and when their would-be constituents hit the polls, it's all good for them. They don't care. Representative Joe Harding told the Tampa Bay Times the other day, quote, "I want opponents of the bill to go on record to say it's okay for a 6-year-old to have one identity in school and one identity at home because the school encourages that kind of behavior," end quote. What in the living F? No one is out here trying to force a 6-year-old kid to be trans at school and cisgender at home. There's a weird fascination that supporters have with children and their sexual identities, as if 3rd grade is actually singles night at the local ramrod. It's not. It's imagined that way. It erases the real victims in this situation, the children. If these lawmakers cared anything about these young people, actually cared, they'd understand that it's a lot of the times who is the first point of a kid gets to talk to when they're first coming out is the teacher. Why is that? Well, often because they don't feel like they can be themselves at home. I was around 15 years old when I first knew that I was gay for sure, right? And thank God for Miss Parisi, my drama teacher at Passaic High School in New Jersey. At 3 p.m. on a Friday evening while rehearsing for Chorus Line, I cried at her desk and told her that I was gay and I didn't want to live anymore. And she told me that that was not a good reason to leave this world. I leaned on her in ways that I had never leaned on anyone in my life. I couldn't lean on my mom that way. You know, she never told my parents, and I wouldn't either for another 10 plus years. And maybe for that very reason, I'm still here talking to you. I'm here alive because of that teacher talking me down from the ledge. I think of the sliding doors version of that situation. Let's do an exercise and what might have happened if I didn't have Miss Parisi. You know, and if she was required to tell my parents. Considering how my coming out went as an adult to my family, I don't imagine it would have been a pretty picture if I had been forced out sooner. There's threat of abuse, abandonment, the always horrific option of conversion therapy, which still remains legal in Florida, by the way, and that hangs over these kids' heads right now. The kids are left to their own devices to figure out a difficult and confusing time. This bill passed sucks. I live in a state that believes that I should stay silent about who I am and that children should be punished for it. The safe haven of a teacher or counselor's confidence, hell, the freaking lunch lady, that will be taken away from them when they need it the most. For this law supporters, it's easier to believe that the crap they say about forced education, made-up mandates about race and sexuality education is used to distract from the fact that a small but vocal percentage of straight, white people have a tendency to get uncomfortable when asked to deal with the world around them. And when children learn about people of a different race or sexuality, it forces parents to deal with their own biases. That's not fun for a lot of people. It's easier to just remove the topics entirely and ignore the consequences. Unfortunately, the consequences of Don't Say Gay bill are life and death. The possibility of dead children doesn't bother these people at all. And the ripped out sections of these textbooks that might have helped to educate these kids on sexuality or maybe race, well, kids, you don't get to have those either. Teachers, students, I'm praying hard for you all. Miss Parisi, thank you for saving my freaking life and not even knowing it. Gay, gay, gay. I'm gonna say it now and forever. Gay, gay, gay. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did, so make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat's show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo, so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ+ media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here